G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm bringing you the official, unofficial patch notes. So basically, I've gone into pubs, I've gone into arena, and I found out everything that's new in the new FORTNITEMARES update, and I figured out which ones are staying in public matches and which are going into competitive. I see a lot of people make these videos, and I've always thought about making them because every time I watch them, it's always them just playing a game, and they're kind of talking about what's new, but they don't really show any of the clips or explain how any of it works. So I've actually gone into the matches, I've tested everything out, and I'm gonna kind of describe how I also think it's going to affect the game, especially competitive, because these are some massive, insane changes that are going to directly impact the rest of FNCS. FORTNITEMARES update is set to end on November 3rd, and FNCS Grand Finals are set to end on November 1st, which means that the rest of FNCS is going to be played on this new update. And while not all of it made it into competitive, there are some insane changes that are they're going to pretty much shake up everything. All the storylines we've been building up, all the drop spots we've been talking about, all the teams who are on top, it is literally about to get flipped on its head. So let's just start talking about what's new in the FORTNITEMARE update. Now, if you guys haven't though, before I get into the video, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're enjoying the FORTNITEMARES update from a casual perspective and then from a competitive perspective, just so I kind of know where everyone stands. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm so close to 100k. We're on track to get it by the end of the year, so thank you so much. Let's just jump straight into the video. Before I jump into the FORTNITEMARES actual game mode, because that's completely different, I just want to talk about what's new in the competitive format, because I know that's what most of you guys on my channel care about. So I want to talk about, firstly, there is no fog. The fog is only in the FORTNITEMARES game mode, so that's a positive. Now, what you do have is the authority has massively changed. Now, the RPGs you get from authority are in competitive game modes. This is the most scary update for the competitive scene going forward for this update. Basically, there's a whole bunch of henchmen. There's 5+ at authority that drop green rarity RPGs. Now, you can upgrade these to legendary, and at legendary they do 300 damage to structures and 130 damage to players, which means it one-shots wood and brick but not metal, and then does 130 damage. So you can triple RPG pretty much anything in the game and you're gonna kill the people inside the box. So already that's gonna be crazy. You guaranteed to get 3 RPGs for your entire trio if you drop authority. And this is what I mean about the whole competitive mode being flipped on its head. Dooms is no longer the best drop on the map. It's still insanely strong, and it might still be the best if you think shockwaves and scars are going to be better than RPGs, but Doom's ball hasn't been re-engaged. It's still out of the game. So there is no mythics currently in competitive Fortnite except for the new broomsticks, and I'll get to that. So it's kind of freaky. The fact that an entire trio is going to get guaranteed RPGs is so scary for everything. High ground, low ground, mid ground, literally anything. So let's talk about Midas though. Midas is in competitive, but he doesn't drop the drum gun. The drum gun is only in FORTNITEMARES, which thank God, because it's a mythic drum gun. It does so much damage. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as the old mythic drum gun, so it's broken as, but again, only in FORTNITEMARES. The crossbow also not in competitive, but wouldn't really matter if it was. It's not that strong. And now this might just be my feeling. I can't confirm this, but either the shield drop rate has increased everywhere across the map, or it has massively increased at authority. When I'm at authority, I'm finding so many shields, and I really hope it's across the maps, because obviously shield rate has been really, really hard to find. Now, this also could be an effect of charged shotguns being taken out of the game, which is the next thing I want to talk about. The charged shotgun has now been vaulted. It is no longer in Fortnite, which means that anything that would have been a green or a blue rarity, like charged shotguns or even epic, you're going to have more chance of finding floor spawns of that same type. So that's minis, that's big pots, that's splashes, all those kind of shields. So I don't know whether it was just me imagining it, but I was finding so many more shields when I was trying to play these games and when I was specifically dropping authority. Now, let's talk about the broomsticks. So there are broomsticks that are now in competitive Fortnite. They're in FORTNITEMARES and they're in the competitive game mode. There's 2 locations where I've found them so far. They're these little witch huts. There's one near Lazy Lake and there's one near Salty Springs. I'll mark them on the map now. Now, this Fortnite GG map hasn't updated, so I'm just gonna have to use the old one, but it's at this exact location. You'll see it. It's a very like witch's house looking hut. And what you'll do is you'll see these barrels and they kind of look like fishing rod barrels. So you either open the barrel and the broomsticks will come out, or you break it, exactly like fishing rods. Now, it's worth pointing out, they're not always here. I was doing custom so I could do this faster. I dropped at the place that was near Lazy Lake 8 times and didn't get a single broomstick. I then went to the Salty Springs location and I found 2 barrels, which gave me 5 broomsticks. So I since went back to the Lazy Lake drop in FORTNITEMARES and I found broomsticks again. So I know they're at both those locations, but I don't know if one has a better drop chance than the other. You'll just have to test it out. As for the broomstick, it is just Silver Surfer's glider, which I am so happy about. It functions exactly like the Silver Surfboard, so it's not insanely broken. It's strong. It's going to be good in solos especially, and it's really fun for arena. That's why I like it, but it's not extremely broken. It'll break builds and it stops you from taking fall damage, but it's on a pretty long cooldown, and yeah, unless you thought the Silver Surfboard was broken, it's fine. In my opinion, it's actually one of the best mythics to be in the game, so I'm completely fine with it. But that's not the only thing that actually is at these witch huts. You do have these kind of like, I guess they're barrels of candy. They're like little cauldrons with candy in them. These pretty much function like fish. You have the peppermint as well, the one that gives you a speed boost. You have like hop rocks basically. You have jelly beans that give you shield. You have the sweet corn. I think this gives you white heals, but basically they're just like fish, but maybe not as strong. But there's quite a lot of them here, so this could be a decent way to get especially peppers. I went here and one time I got 8 of the pepper variants from just one of these witch huts, so that could massively affect competitive in different rotation paths if you now have guaranteed peppers in these locations. So also pretty cool, but not insanely broken. I don't think it's going to ruin competitive or it's going to make it way worse like the RPGs might. So now what do I think this is going to do for competitive? Well, this obviously opens up a drop spot on the map where now any team that's been stuck in kind of those mythic battle feuds, like you've got Benji Fish's team on EU, you got Aqua's team obviously against them, you have Mitro over at Stark, I'm looking at teams like Zate over in NA East, all these teams that are dropping mythic drops and kind of being locked into these grief fests. A lot of them are doing it over egos, and I think this now gives them an option to go somewhere else. If Benji Fish's team now leaves Doom's Domain and they alpha up Authority, I feel like they're going to save face and they're going to save a bit of their ego, but they're still going to be in an insanely strong drop. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those top tier teams that are not currently going a mythic drop or are at a mythic drop and want to leave, now have their opportunity. The problem is though, this is week 3 of the qualifiers. This is your last chance to qualify. If you haven't got top whatever it is for your region to automatically qualify and you're not doing well on consistency points, you need to make this count. And going somewhere like Authority in the finals, which might randomly have 3 or 4 teams on it, is probably not going to be the strategy. So this weekend is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be super exciting to watch. It's going to be super fun as a spectator. How the players are going to handle it, you already know. They're not going to be happy. It's just that simple. So I guess we'll have to see. Now, let's talk about what FORTNITEMARES is, the actual new game mode that's in Fortnite for the public player match, for casuals, for the Halloween update, because it's actually pretty fun. It's the new game mode for solos, duos, and squads. There is now no regular game mode, which is already really upsetting people, because if you don't like this way of playing the game, you're kind of stuck for a couple weeks. This is the only thing you can play if you're going to play casual matches. But basically, it's normal Fortnite with all the new stuff. Like I said, there's Mist, there's now the RPGs, there's the crossbows, there's the candy corn, everything I just talked about in competitive, that is also still in the casual game mode. Obviously, you still have your Stark mythics, all that other stuff that isn't in competitive is still in this game mode. The core difference is when you play it, when you die, you turn into a ghost. And as the ghost, it's kind of your mission to then go and eliminate every other actual player in the game. If the ghosts win, if there's any ghosts alive or you're alive as a ghost and the last of real player is eliminated, you get a victory royale, which is kind of huge. This is one of the easiest ways to get victories there's ever been. So if you're one of those players that struggles to get pub wins and you want to kind of pad your stats, now's your chance. How do you get the win if you're not a ghost? Well, you just have to be the last person left alive. And it's kind of weird. I don't know if it was just a glitch for me. I was the last player alive, but then I got killed by ghosts and it still said I got the victory royale. But I've also seen other people, if you're the last player and you kill the last ghost, it actually comes up with the victory royale screen as well. So maybe these both count as wins. So either way, it's looking like it's currently one of the easiest ways to get wins in public matches. Now, as for when you become the ghost, it's actually pretty fun. You have a few different abilities. You have your regular like melee attack abilities, which do about 25 to 35 damage depending on the combo. You also have the ability to jump through walls like you used to be able to. You have a kind of like a glide mechanic where you jump and you fly further, but you also have like an ultimate ability. This is really cool. If there's anyone in your area that's a human player, it'll show them through walls and you can go see them and like hunt them down. It's really fun. But as far as what I think this will do to the casual player base, it's gonna get boring pretty quick. I can see this will get annoying after a while, especially because once people start to die as the ghost, they'll probably just quit, which is gonna be really boring. But I feel like I understand why Fortnite can't have split game modes when they do this. They can't just keep the casual game mode in, but it's going to be quite tough. For 2 weeks, just not being able to play the game normally if you don't like this update is really weird. As much as people complain about Fortnite and they don't like it at times, at least the game is consistent for a few weeks and you can play it the way you want. Being locked into only playing FORTNITEMARES is going to be a little bit rough. But again, it should be good fun. It's a bit of a change of pace. And then after a couple of weeks, November 3rd, I'm going to guess it goes back to normal. Just to finish it off, in case you didn't see it, I just really quickly wanted to run through the item shop of everything that's new. It looks like you have the Crypt Crashes pack now, which is 2,800 V-Bucks. You get the 3 skins, you got the pickaxes, you got the backpacks. It's kind of cool. I like it. I might grab it. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, I know FaZe Sway was posting out that like he's got 3 variants of his skins now, but honestly, probably one of the worst packs I've seen for a while. I think the Ultimate Reckoning pack is still so much nicer. Just my 2 cents. You have the Party Trooper now as well, which is pretty cool. It's nice. Again, it's not a variant of the Skull Trooper. It's an entirely new skin. You also have, if you go past all the old stuff, nothing new here. You've still got Daredevil. You now have Brainiac is back in as well. You also have Ghoul Trooper. And you now have Grimoire. Now, I actually really like this skin. Grimoire is really, really cool. And she has an editable style with the hood. And I know this is going to be a sweats choice because it's like, it's a clean skin, it looks nice, and it's sweaty. So, good choice there. You now have Delirium back in the store. Nothing new there. And you also have the Spellbound staff. So that's pretty much like all the Halloween like focus stuff. You have the Storm King fist, you have the Storm King music, you have Fright Funk, and then you have the Howl emote as well. So just all the old Halloween style stuff. Also, sorry, this is the pickaxe as well that comes with Grimoire. There's also a bunch of new styles. The one that I haven't seen that was definitely in the trailer, and we've seen Hypex leaked it before, was the variant of this fish skin. Now, this is my favorite one. I haven't seen it. I don't know where it is. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about it. I couldn't really find anything. I'm super excited for it, but that's about it, guys. That's everything that was in the FORTNITEMARES update that I think was important. I'm sure I've missed out some stuff, and if there is anything, again, let me know in the comments. But if this video helped you, if you liked it, please chuck a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, we're getting so close to the 100K. Thank you guys so much. I know I haven't done a video for the last few days. I want you guys to know that I make as much YouTube content as I can, but I want it to be quality. If there's nothing to talk about, I'm not just going to make a video for the sake of it. So FNCS weekend's coming up, so you know I'm going to have all the updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.